It is spring 2012. We are on the road to a Jewish community, known also as a settlement, called Har Braha in Samaria, West Bank. We are going to meet with an Israeli soldier that took part in clashes with Western activists and Palestinian Arab demonstrators. We are traveling through territories which can be pretty dangerous for non-Muslims and non-Arabs. I have just a quick question. Is this Arab village or Israeli? That's Arab. Okay, hello. We are in Israeli settlement in West Bank. And we are talking to a gentleman who has been in IDF, lives here and has lived here all his life. What's your name?
Eliezer.
And how long have you lived here in this settlement?
בהר 20 שנה.
20 years.
How old are you?
22.
22.
Did you take part in any fighting?
יצאו אירועים כמו...
There's been times where I had to go against people that were throwing rocks and other violence, but I never had to fire my gun.
Who were those people that you had to go up against?
זה יכול להיות מתפרעים.
It could be an unorganized group of people that just don't like the Jewish people, don't like to see us here, or it could be an organized group of people like Hamas or GAP, where they have a very organized infrastructure and an organized way of fighting Jewish people.
What weapons or means he used to fight those people that opposed him?
רימוני הלם, רימוני גז.
Different types of grenades. We used shock gas, tear gas.
Did you have to make sure that people don't get hurt too seriously? Were you paying attention to what consequences there could be from your actions?
כל עוד המתפרע, המחבל לא...
As long as we don't see an ability, or if they don't have the means to kill and they're not trying to kill us, we will not purposefully kill a terrorist. We will keep them alive. Our goal is to protect ourselves, but if the instant that we see that they can kill us and want to kill us, then we will do what we have to do to stay alive.
Sometimes on TV in America, they show groups of young kids attacking Israeli troops with rocks or slingshots or shouting at them. Those are like from 10-year-old to maybe 16-year-old kids, mainly boys. What do they do to disperse or control such people? I mean, they are not terrorists. Who are they? Why they demonstrate? And how do you restrain them?
אנשים כאלה ינסו...
In these ages, there isn't a lot to do, but we do try to catch them and stop them, give them tickets to prevent them from doing things like this against us.
Do you sometimes hurt them seriously? By seriously, I mean that they end up in the hospital or being killed?
No, if we do not purposely hurt people that cannot kill us. We'll do everything that we can to stop people that are creating violence against Jews. But as long as we don't see that they have the ability to hurt us, well, we aren't going to do anything that's going to hurt them. If we see that they can kill us and they're a terrorist, then we'll do anything that we can to keep a Jewish citizen alive.
What about your friends or other Israeli soldiers? Are there other units or other soldiers like yourself, but soldiers that want to purposely hurt or kill Palestinian Arab demonstrators?
I know a lot of people from all different kinds of units. I have friends all over, and none of them are violent. None of them are looking for action without any reason. They are only there to protect their families, their people, the Jewish people.
What about Jewish demonstrators or civilians or settlers that act aggressively toward Arabs? Does it happen often that Jews are attacking Arabs either on the roads here or in Jerusalem or other places?
This happening, I think that it's almost safe to say that it maybe hasn't happened in the time I've been around. If something like this possibly ever did happen, maybe it was because of a terrorist attack where a settler had a family member die because of Arab attacks, or were hurt badly in an Arab attack. And it's safe to say that I've never heard of something like this happening.
How do you feel when you have to use violence against Palestinians who are being dispersed by you? Do you have ethical problems with it? Do you have moral problems with it? Do you think it's okay to oppose and disperse and fight those demonstrators?
I feel that the Jewish people need to be able to depend on me to do my job as a soldier, to keep them safe. They have the right to live in their country and feel safe, and that's my job, to protect them.
Some people in the West say that this land here, Judea and Samaria, that is also called in the West Bank, that this is a Palestinian Arab land and Jews are intruders in this land and should move away from here.
There's a lot of holes in history. Most of the settlers have done everything correctly. They followed the law. Palestinians a lot of the time have done things out of violence and not followed the law. One of these holes in history is that Palestinians are able to live here, they're able to buy land here, even though they have been here a lot less time than the Jews have been here. We have history that dates back thousands of years to here, and we're presented in the media as if we stole the land, as if we're not supposed to be here, we have no legal rights to here, but this is a hole in history, and we're presented in the wrong way. How
would you wish that this conflict between Palestinian Arabs and Israelis gets resolved?
I just want to get to peace. We have been wanting peace for years. In order to have peace, both sides have to want peace. As soon as it's been years, the Arabs have tried to conquer us, wipe us out, and we're just waiting for them to offer peace. As soon as they are ready to have peace, we'll be happy.
Do you hate Arabs?
No, not at all.
Do you think they hate you?
Some of them.
Are there Arabs who also wish peace like you?
האם יש ערבים שגם רוצים שלום כמוך?
אני מקווה שכן.
I hope so.
There are obviously Arabs that don't want peace. Do you think that they are the dominant group in the Arab community?
כרגע נראה לי שכן.
At the moment, I think so.
Do you think it's okay for the Arabs to live here in West Bank? Do you have a problem with Arabs living here?
I don't have any problem with people that want to live here that aren't going to hurt me, and if they don't have a problem with a Jewish country being here.
What's your attitude toward the left-wing activists from Europe and from America who come here and try to mediate peace?
I think that they don't really know the truth. Maybe some of them think they're being humanitarian, I don't know, but in the end, they're only causing trouble and they're bringing a war.
Are they inciting Palestinian Arabs to fight Israelis, or do they try to explain to Palestinian Arabs and to the Jews that peace is desirable?
They don't act as if they're coming for peace. They usually come and to provoke.
Can you give some examples of those provocations, especially from recent times?
They oftentimes will bring flags that say peace, but they'll have knives with them. They'll have a demonstration, but you'll see violence in the background. Was recently the occurrence with the colonel.
Do you like the policy of government of Israel toward those peace activists, or you think there should be different policy?
These people are coming only to provoke and start problems. The government needs to catch them before they start these actions and before they're able to start provoking, not after or in the middle.
He's a war criminal, he's the commander of the area here, and one day we will sue this guy in the criminal court of justice.
Should they maybe control the borders better and not let them into Israel?
Yes, the government needs to try, and they need to find these people and present them as people that are not peacemakers, that are people that are not trying to make love, that are people that are trying to provoke and create problems.
Did you ever have to confront Western anti-Israeli activists, European, American? Did you ever have to disperse them or deal with them?
באופן אישי לא יצא לי סיטואציה כזו.
In a personal way, no.
Do you have an opinion about the United Nations role in the conflict between the Palestinian Arabs and Israel?
אני חושב שהם מוטים.
I think that they are biased in the way that they look at the situation. A Palestinian can scream and cry, and they'll listen to him. An Israeli can do the same, and nothing will become of it.
Why do you think that United Nations favors Palestinians versus Israelis?
קשה לי לנתח.
I'm not really sure why they do this. It's hard for me to say why. It could be because it's about money, that they tend to choose the Palestinian side. It could be even anti-Semitism reasons.
What would you wish for the government of Israel to do? Do you like the job the government is doing, the policy of the government?
The country needs to realize that we have an enemy and treat them more as an enemy and fight him as an enemy.
You think the government of the country right now doesn't treat the enemy as enemy, or it pretends that everything is fine?
Partially, yes, the government does recognize our enemies as enemies, but our government does not use all of the power in their hands to stop all the terror that we could stop, or prevent terror from happening in the beginning.
Who is your favorite Israeli politician?
I don't have one specifically.
Okay. What do you think about America and the policy of America toward Israel?
I'm happy that generally they tend to support us. I think that sometimes they do this only because they want to appear humanitarian or something like this.
The Americans?
Yeah.
What do you think about level of professionalism and training of the Israeli army? Is it well-disciplined, well-trained, strong army that can defend Israel?
מה אתה חושב על רמת המקצועיות של הצבא הישראלי? Yes.
Is there something that you would like to tell our viewers from your experience? Is there a message that you would like to convey?
Yes, we have a very strong army. We are the most humanitarian army in the world. We will never purposely hurt civilians. We are here to defend, not to attack. Even with two hands tied behind our back, we've been able to defend ourselves, and will continue to do this.
On a personal note, what are your plans after you get out from the army, and what do you plan for the future for yourself?
I'm still deciding. I want to find some quiet, relaxed work, maybe in a hotel or on a ranch, but I don't know yet.
Well, thank you very much, and it was an honor and pleasure to do this interview with you, and thank you for your service. Thank you very much.
תודה.
What we see ahead is city of Nablus, large Palestinian city, and our friend has been there before. Can you tell me, in this city, what do people? This is an Arab city, right?
Yeah. Yes.
And would it be safe for us to go right now down there and just walk around?
לא, אם יהודי ייכנס לכפר ערבי, כנראה
if a Jewish person will go into
יעשו לו לינץ'.
Arab village, they'll lynch him.
What do you mean lynch him?
התקהלות.
They'll come with hundreds of Arabs, take him together, and take him to somewhere that we don't want to know.
Okay, so you would basically be killed, right? By the Arabs.
It's reasonable to assume that he wouldn't get out of this alive if he entered this village.
So if you are a non-Arab or if you are a Jew, if you are a non-Arab, will you be lynched by them, killed by them, or Jew?
If you're Jewish, or if they think you're Jewish even, you probably will not make it out. They will probably lynch you. If you're not Jewish, he likes to be optimistic and think that you'll probably make it out okay, but it's definitely not recommended to go in.
This looks fairly affluent, a relatively nice houses here in Nablus. What do local people live on? Or like, how do they make a living?
A lot of the Arabs here go to Jewish settlements to work.
So they make money in the settlements here in Samaria.
It's considered good work for money to work with Jews for them.
Are the wages higher with the Jews?
It's better for them to work money-wise with the Jews because they don't have a very high wages in their villages, and so instead they can go work in a Jewish settlement to make a lot of money and come back, and that money is worth a lot in their villages, even though it's not necessarily a high wage.
This happens to be so-called refugee camp, which means a part of town where the so-called refugees, Arab refugees from War of 1948 live. Basically their descendants live here. Are they allowed to leave this place or not?
No, they're not forced to live here. As you can see, there's also a lot of room out around the village. They don't have to build everything so close together, but it's a playing card for them to stay here in a crowded area because they get money from outside sources.
Like what sources?
איפה הם מקבלים את הכסף?
בעיקר מאירופה, יש ארגונים או איסלאמיים או אירופאים.
Mostly from Europe. There's a lot of organizations that are European or Islamic from that area.
שבסוג של תואנה הומניטרית עוזרים בעיקר לסוג פליטים כזה.
There's a lot of humanitarians, so-called organizations, that will send money to places like this.
So they have enticement, they have a reason to live there, right? That is economically advantageous for them to stay here.
be no other reason.
Thank you. The place in the center, that's Joseph's grave, place holy to the Jews. It's been maintained by the local Jewish settlers. They come here with the protection of the army, I suppose, right?
The IDF soldiers.
By the IDF soldiers, and maintain this place. Recently it has been renovated. It's very dangerous to go there, so they have to have strong protection.
Joseph was one of the 12 tribes. And from them came all the Jewish people. He was not only just one of these tribes, he was one of the important parts of the tribe of Israel, because it was the tribes that came out of Joseph were parallel to Judah. About 7 or 8 years ago, Arabs, when Jews left this area, came in and completely destroyed the place. They removed important pictures that were important to Jews.
At Joseph's tomb?
At Joseph's tomb. They completely destroyed the whole place and just treated it terribly. And about a year and a half ago, the army decided to end this ridiculousness and come back into our holy site and fix it up like it should be. And so that's what they did. They came back in under the protection of the army, fixed up the holy site of Joseph's tomb, and now it's guarded by the army.